Hello guys, girls and everything else, another Pants video. I'm going to make sure that it's recording. Yeah, it's recording. And this time Assassin Dedication, which, yeah, is pretty cool. However, it requires a lot of things. However, for example, I mean, it requires you to have alchemical crafting and be trained in crafting, yeah. Sure, and also deception and stealth, so 3 skills and a feat. That's like the that's like the biggest requirement I think that any feat has. Maybe except like for like archetype feats that specifically make you take an archetype, but however that's the most things an archetype lists, I believe. And yeah, you gain mark for death, which yeah, if you can see the creature, you designate the creature and the mark lasts until the creature dies or you mark it again. You gain +2 circumstance bonus to perception checks to seek or deception checks to feint against the mark. Your agile and finesse weapons and unarmed attacks gain the backstabber and deadly d6 weapon traits when you're attacking your mark. If your weapon or attacks has the deadly trait, increase the die size of deadly damage by 1 step instead of giving it the deadly d6. So yeah, we already see that, well, since it gives you deadly and it's like mostly agile and finesse and stuff like this, so I think that this archetype is best suited for dexterity based fighters, most likely the ones that use a rapier. And I know that I said this wrong, but you know this. YouTube will just shadow ban my channel if I say this correctly, because of another word that starts with R and then A and then P. And yeah, it costs 3 actions, so yeah, it's most efficiently used if you do this before a battle or something like this. And then Angel of Vindication, which yeah, if you're a Knight of Lostful, then if you mark an undead creature, when you strike a flat-footed undead foe with a weapon that has Backstabber weapon trait, which you gain if you mark the creature, you deal 3 extra precision damage instead of 1. If the weapon is a +3 weapon, it deals extra 6 precision damage. If you have Angel of Death feat, your attacks also instantly destroy undead at 0 hit points, which, I mean, like, didn't undead already die automatically at 0 hit points? And attempts for the undead to regenerate. Such as via Leech's Soul Cage or Ghost Rejuvenation ability. Fail unless the effect's Scarteract level is higher than half your level when you kill the creature rounded up, or originate from an artifact or deity. Finally, if you have an access to Assassinate feat and an undead mark critically fails the save against you, against your assassinate is destroyed. Sorry, I have dyslexia. Anyways, an Eclipse Vitality, which yeah works if you have Master in Stealth. And once again, Knights of Lostful. Yeah, a pretty good book. You should definitely take Knights of Lostful. You shroud yourself, or you're always taking precautions when avoiding notice, hiding, and sneaking to foil life sense, and you're concealed to any creatures that possesses using only precise life sense to observe you. So this is essentially just like a foil senses feat. This is just like foil senses feat, but you get access to it. Wait. Foil sen foil. Yeah, that just foil senses, but worse. Except you get this early, but it's like a class feat, so yeah, I think that it's just worse for your senses. And once again, if you and this one, expert backstabber. If you strike a flat-footed foe, you deal extra 2 precision damage instead of 1. If the weapon is a +3, then you deal extra 4 precision damage. And poison resistance, which, yeah, poison resistance equal to half your level, and you gain +1 to saves against poisons. Pretty good. And surprise attack, so just like rogues get for free, on the first round of combat, if you roll deception or stealth for initiative, creatures that haven't attacked yet are flat-footed to you. Which once again just reinforces, just still reinforces in my head that it's made for melee fighters rather than rogues and stuff like this. Or maybe possibly like some investigators above level 10. And poison weapon. Once again, why you shouldn't pick this with a rogue. Because rogue already gets it at level 4. I believe at level 4. And if you're wielding a slashing or piercing weapon, you can apply poison in it. If you have a free hand, you can interact to draw a poison as part of this action if your next attack with that weapon before the end of the turn hits and deals damage, it applies the effect of the poison provided that the poison can be delivered by contact or injury. If you critically fail the attack roll, the poison is wasted as normal. Oh yeah, during daily preparations you can prepare a number of simple injury poisons equal to your rogue level. These poisons deal extra 1d4 poison damage. You can apply these poisons properly and they expire the next time you prepare. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think. Just some more damage and you can essentially just apply poison onto a weapon with one action instead of 2. And sneak attacker, which yeah, you get sneak attack once again. Why you shouldn't do this with a rogue, except it deals 1d4 damage, increases to 1d6 at level 6, and you don't increase the number of dice. So I mean, yeah, that's some extra damage. However, once again, that still just reinforces my idea that it's just mainly for fighters that fight at melee, or maybe swashbucklers. I mean, swashbucklers get a lot of ways to make the enemy flat-footed, so maybe it's for them. Because as far as I can see, I just can only see this used because the deadly property and stuff like this. This would be best used with a fighter that uses a rapier. This would be like the best case scenario in my opinion for this. And then sneak attacker, which I already do this, so yeah, bro. Just sorry, I just lost track of where I was while I was talking. And public execution. Some rebellion firebrands cells make practice of publicity declaring them main target of given operation. You announce your intention to kill your mark for all to hear and reveal the reason they must die, perhaps listing their crimes, sharing their damning secret. Creatures within 30 feet that can see and hear you are shocked, otherwise, at the proclamation, otherwise reluctant to come to the reluctant to come to max 8. They must attempt a will save against your class or spell DC, whichever is higher. On a failure, the creature cannot attack you, otherwise perform hostile action against you um, until the end of your next turn. If you use a hostile action against a creature other than you mark, this effect ends. Your mark becomes temporarily immune to the public execution for 1 day. So yeah, like you have some reason to just stop. Then Angel of Death. Well, wait, I thought that. Oh no, that's Angel of the Vindication. Okay, this one is another cool sounding feat. All your strikes against creature marked for death have the death trait. Oh, causing the mark to be instantly killed when reduced to 0 hit points. When killed in this way, attempts to communicate with it return to life, turn into undead or otherwise disturb its afterlife. Fail unless the counteract level is higher than half of your creature's level or originates from an artifact or a deity. Now, improved poison weapon, just like poison weapon, but it deals now 2d4 damage instead of 1d4. And you don't waste the poison when you crit fail. And now, assassinate. That sounds cool. You strike. If you hit, you make a strike, and if you hit, the target of your mark takes extra 6d6 precision damage with basic fortitude saves against your class or spell DC. Of course, we choose the higher one. If the mark critically fails, they die. This is an incapacitation effect. The creature then becomes temporarily immune to your assassinate for 1 day. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, and assassinate works only if you're unnoticed by your mark. So yeah, that's a pretty good thing. And yeah, it took us 13 minutes to go through it. And yeah, I think that this archetype is pretty good. However, I would add some other things to the archetype, like the higher level versions of poison weapon and stuff like this. I think it was like at level 14, so I would give it at level 16 also. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the archetype. I guess like that's all I can really say right now. So I guess bye.